edition of Meet the Staff of Paisano News. My name is Eric Munoz, your broadcasting news director, and I'm with
Michael Carabit. I'm a news contributor and podcaster for El Paisano.
And today we're going to go ahead and get to know Michael a little bit better. This is the show where we introduce you to some of the people who work on your college's wonderful newspaper. So normally the first question that I ask is, what high school did you go to?
I actually didn't go to high school in California. I went to Coronado High School in Henderson, Nevada.
Okay.
I went there for 4 years.
How was that?
It was very boring. It's a lot of desert land.
Not a lot of desert parties?
No. Well, if there were, I wasn't invited to them.
Why was that?
Because I was in the band, so...
There weren't a lot of like crazy band parties?
Believe it or not, there weren't. Contrary to popular belief, band is not as insane as you would think.
See, what I was told in my high school is the band members consisted of like nymphomaniac, like adrenaline junkies.
I was not friends with them.
But were they there?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Were you king band?
Here's what I was. I was the first chair trumpet player.
Okay.
And I was the trumpet section leader.
So you were big trumpet.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a big deal.
That's cool. Yeah.
And
celebrity status.
The stereotype of trumpet player is that we were very full of ourselves too.
Okay.
So even if I wasn't a big deal, I thought I was a big deal.
Trumpet stereotypes.
So, yeah, there are stereotypes for every section of the band.
Okay. What about the roadie?
The roadie? We didn't really. The roadies for us were like parent volunteers.
Okay.
So everyone loved their child.
Yeah.
So I guess that's the stereotype.
Got high and listened to their kids play jazz.
Oh.
That type of roadie? Was that the stereotype?
I would have loved to meet those parents. I don't know those parents, but I'm sure they exist.
Yeah, they're out there. So when you left high school, what brought you to LA?
A combination of things, wanting to get out here. And I was currently, at the time I was working full time. I wasn't in school after I got out of high school. And I got promoted to, I was working in retail. I got promoted to a store out here actually in Montebello, which I'm no longer with, thankfully. But that was the big thing that brought me out here, just,
Okay, cool.
Desire to be on my own.
And now you're at a community college in a good old Whittier.
Yeah.
What made you kind of gravitate towards journalism?
Initially after I got out of high school, I assumed I was going to go into music, and I was for a little while in Las Vegas at the school there. I was in the jazz band, and it was okay, but I started to realize, it's not the best fit for me. There's certain, when you're a musician, there's like a certain box that you have to fit into in order to be successful, and I didn't really fit into any of the boxes. So when I came out here, that's what led me to start working full time, and then when I came back out here and started going to school, I wanted to, kind of express myself a little bit more. Still look for something that was a viable career option, but also, gave me the liberty to be creative and to talk about what I wanted to talk about and not follow anybody else's rules per se.
So now that you're in journalism, can you give me like some of your favorite experiences with journalism?
I've really enjoyed getting into podcasting because that gives me the opportunity to, even though it's mostly been me recording by myself, it gives me the opportunity to just talk about one subject for 30, 40 minutes and get my voice out there, And something that has led me to do is I've actually, apart from journalism, I've actually started doing stand-up comedy. I've been going to clubs, bars, coffee houses in Long Beach, Orange County, and those give me a little bit, they present themselves to be more of a challenge because, with a podcast I'm just reporting on the news or I'm just sharing my opinion, but with actually doing stand-up comedy I have to actually put a spin on it and make it funny. I can't just tell a story unless it's, there are some stories that are just inherently funny.
What, give me your funniest story.
The funniest one that I saw recently was, I can't remember what the source was that I found it from, but the headline was, Trump picks ghost hunter to be federal judge. And that, I don't know how to make that any funnier.
Okay. Yeah, that does sound like we're living in an Onion article.
Yes,
everything
does.
Like, what would happen if the world was ran by the Discovery Channel? Okay, well, can you give me another, maybe your favorite news story that you've contributed to?
My favorite news story that we've worked on was when we started doing the Rio Talk broadcasts. We put together a team, myself, Noah Garcia, and Danielle Exuros did a few recordings, and one of my favorite ones was we talked about a Burger King ad about bullying. They tried to incorporate the Burger King brand into an anti-bullying message, and the three of us having all experienced bullying in our lives, it was really a sensitive issue for us, and it allowed us to speak openly about it. Speak how it really made us feel, because it didn't seem to address the issue thoughtfully, and so it gave us the opportunity to actually express concern for the issue wholly.
All right, awesome. Well, one last question. When you first got into the El Paisano News staff, give me your first impression.
When I first walked in here, it was really busy on the first day. Like everyone who's been in here has been in here for a long time. So being kind of the new kid on the block, I was worried about jumping in. Was I going to be able to keep up with everybody else? And fortunately, everyone on the staff here has been really welcoming. Everybody's helping everybody. We're all on the same team, so it's made for a really positive, encouraging atmosphere. Just to do what we're here to do.
Awesome. Well, I want to thank you for talking to me, and if you're interested in a career in journalism, come on by to Business 112, where we got El Paisano News to help you out. My name is Eric Munoz.
I'm Michael Karabit.
Tune in next week for another installment of Meet the Staff.